Ladies and gentlemen, 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 oops. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's been a hot minute, and the Wayfarers have been knocked unconscious. They fought against the spooky customer known as Gothel, who has many powers and is mighty indeed. And they were in this dark and mysterious room with mind control powers, trying to fight him, but he would just brah, brah. And they are all down. Pig went down. Mendax went down. Call even went down. It's a mess. Where is Ribbons when you need him? Find out on this episode of Wayfarers.
Yeah, that was about as apt a description of the last episode as I could possibly do myself. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute since we've seen all of your happy, totally not unconscious, passed out on the stone cold floor faces. Yeah. Timothy, thank you for such a wonderful introduction. Last episode, you guys got knocked the fuck out, to be honest with you. You went toe-to-toe with Gothel and found that fighting him in his domain, maybe not the smartest thing in the world. But we left off. You guys had gone unconscious. I think he just knocked each of you out like one turn at a time, if my memory is right. And I think we ended there. Does that sound about right? Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to say before we get started today?
It wasn't one turn for each of us. We gave him a good wrestle.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
also the door was closed, so you can't act like it was dumb for us to fight him in there. We didn't have a choice.
I never said it was dumb.
You said it wasn't the best idea.
Was it the best idea?
Well, it's not like we had a choice. It wasn't our idea.
Okay. Sure.
Oh, also, I can speak wind.
That is not
Definitely. I do remember
Yes.
that happening
Because
distinctly.
the DM of the campaign was away, and there was an elf lord who went into his domain and temporarily assumed the powers. And there was a person who is also a bird, known as Flair, who said, as the temporary dungeon master, what changes will you make? And he said specifically that Carl can speak wind. Now, I know you've been against this the whole time.
Just because you streamed on my channel for one day does not make you the DM for the campaign, even for that one day.
But he's a bird.
I don't know about it. I have some reservations. There's no wind to speak. That's the issue, man. That's where the issue is. There's no D&D wind speak.
You're just closed-minded.
I'm not closed-minded. I follow the rules. Actually, with you guys, I'm pretty loose on the rules anyways. But you do not speak wind. Even if you were the DM for a day, I'm back. I'm the DM still, and I say no wind speaking.
How can
my final
how can
decision.
the DM retcon the DM? That doesn't make any sense.
Everyone in the chat agrees that Carl speaks wind.
Trust me, when I say I retcon myself literally all the time, and if you guys just don't notice, that's on you.
Yeah,
That's on you.
language. There's a language to art, right? There is a language to art, and you
Not in
can.
D&D,
I
there's
think
not.
it has been proven.
No,
Paint with the colors of the wind, unless you want to argue with Pocahontas.
I do.
Then I think that if that paint, that's art. Art has a language. Wind has a language.
There's no art language in
true.
D&D, and there's no wind
Kind of.
language in D&D either.
But if wind
Both
were
of
to
those.
start developing language, Carl would speak it.
Okay, we've been over this. You speak Orin, which is I give you this much, the elemental wind language. So if there is an intelligent creature made of wind, you could talk to it. I will go that far and no further. You do not speak to random breezes that happen around the world.
Well, I could.
No, you can't, because they're not saying anything. Negative. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Are they not using any words, or is it just like they're mumbling? Because if they speak the same language, if the wind elementals speak
I'm over this.
in
Roll
the
a
language
d20.
of wind,
All of you
then
roll a
wind could be saying
d20.
the same thing, but just not saying anything intelligent.
No, everybody roll a d20. Mandax, you get -5.
You know what? I think that that's a testament to the strength of my arguments.
19.
Okay.
25.
15.
No, I'm kidding. I got a 9.
That's fine. You can keep your 9. I won't give you -5. Okay, 19, 15, and 9. I'm just going to start off unless anybody else had any other actual questions before we get started. Call. You find yourself in a gigantic knee-high pool of some sort of liquid. It is very dark around you, and you don't see any sort of features on the horizon. It just seems like you're in this inky black abyss for miles and miles spanning around you. Just all of a sudden.
Whoa. Am I dead?
I don't know. You look down at your arms, your legs, you can move around. It does all seem to have some sort of, I guess, ethereal quality would maybe be the best word for it, where you're sort of seeing after images of your arm as you move around. Off in the distance, you start to see a light.
Oh.
What would you like to do?
Well, I'll check my schedule. Lie in the abyss. I think I'll go check out the light.
Okay. It's far off in the distance, but any perception of time is sort of lost in this place. You travel for what you presume to be seconds, maybe even minutes, maybe hours. You're really not even sure. But you march forward. You feel this cold liquid at your feet. Again, you sort of have to trudge through as it goes up all the way to your knees. And almost as if some essence of you is being lost behind you with every step. You continue onward for some amount of time. The light is closer. What would you like to do?
I wanted to think about the wind. And then I will.
You notice
advance
there's no
forward.
wind here.
Oh.
Okay. In fact, at that point, you notice there's no sound. You don't hear anything. As you slosh through the water, it makes no noise. It's completely still.
What if I
completely
clap?
silent. No noise.
What if I would pass wind?
Still no noise. Silent, deadly, and noiseless.
Oh.
You notice you don't have any of your gear either.
Yeah. Just feathers
Your trusty
only.
scythe. Just feathers only, my dude.
Well, I'll continue forward.
Okay. You proceed forward. Again, some amount of time that you can't bring yourself to recall. As you continue forward, your mind is sort of drifting around from place to place. You start to recall events from your life, from your childhood, from your life in your village before you were banished, from your travels since then, meeting your new allies, your new friends, the adventures that you've gone on, the successes and victories you've had, and the losses that you've had as well. You feel content. That's the best emotion at the time that makes sense. You don't feel sad. You don't feel angry. You're not happy. But you're not sad either. You just feel content, as if things are the way that they should be, and things are continuing on the way that they should be. And you keep stepping forward as you draw closer and closer to this light that's just far off in the distance. It seems like no matter how many steps you take, you're having a difficulty making any sort of progress.
Can I
But
see
eventually,
anything
Go
else
ahead.
in any direction?
You look around you, you look behind you. Again, it is just this empty, just darkness. You see nothing other than the sort of pool of liquid at your feet. That seems to also span the entire distance of whatever mysterious place you're in. There's no features behind you. There's nothing in the sky. You have no clue where you are. The only thing that is different from the unending sort of darkness is that light that's off in the distance.
I don't have much else to do. I could lie down in this stuff. Maybe
You
it's
could.
like a bath.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man.
I'll just take a quick rest and maybe lounge.
Yeah. Are you gonna lay down in the liquid?
Yeah.
You do so. From what you can tell, it's just cool water. You're having difficulty making out any sort of different colors here. You yourself are very dark as well. The liquid is dark. You lay down, it's cold, but not freezing.
Can I taste it?
It tastes like nothing. You have no sense of taste. You realize that your sense of touch even is beginning to become muted, and that you're not even sure you can discern that you're touching the water anymore.
Curious. Maybe I am dead. Well, I'll go walk toward the light again.
Okay. You walk forward. For what seems like days, maybe even months. You're not even sure exactly, again, how long time has traveled. All you can remember now is just your endless sense that you need to approach this light and move forward through this unbroken darkness that's around you. And eventually you make progress. The light begins to grow a bit larger, a bit brighter. It doesn't look like a star that's off in the distance. It starts to look maybe like a gateway, like a door. You move forward. Days, weeks, months pass once again. And finally, you've been here, who can recall? Years, maybe? Maybe you've always been here. You're starting to lose sense of reality. How long you've been here? Were those memories that you had all those times ago, or were those real? Did you just make those up? You're not even sure. But eventually you reach your destination. All that you can remember now is wanting to reach this light. The only direction, the only sort of indication that that's the direction you should be going. The only purpose you've had over such a long time. And you see that it is a door. It is a bright, simple looking doorway. A gate, if you will. You're maybe 100 feet away from it now. Your destination seems so close. What do you do?
I would like to inspect it.
You do so.
Does it have
You
any
move
markings?
closer. Maybe door is sort of the wrong description. It's think of it like an arched gate made of pure light. You don't see any discernible markings. There's nothing that's like rooting it to the ground. It's just there, as if it's a tear through reality. You see on the left and on the right that there's nothing. There's no wall. It looks as if the abyss continues going on forever. As you begin to approach the light, though, you feel warmth for the first time since you could even remember. All you've known is this sort of cool, inky darkness of the pool beneath your feet. The light does begin to illuminate that dark liquid. By the way, you can see that it's actually more of a rust red color, and not black as you once presumed it was, or clear.
But it still has no taste, and I can't sense much aside from the light.
Now the warmth that you're feeling is the first thing you felt in, again, you can't even remember how long. You've lost your sense of touch, smell, taste ages ago.
Well, the passage seems like the most interesting thing around.
You're almost scared. All you've been doing this whole time is just moving forward. You think maybe this could be it. Maybe this is actually the end. You don't know where this goes.
I don't, but I've done a lot of stupid stuff that was worse than this.
That's true. That's definitely true. It's like, certainly.
I'll think of clapping with the chef before he tried to chop me into pieces. And how there might be a chef on the other side of this door as well.
That memory seems just almost foreign at this point. As if it was just a fancy story you made up in your head long ago.
Pretty good story, though.
Yeah, I think so.
I will go through.
You approach the door, the gateway. The light begins to shine on you, and again, that warm feeling starts to almost feel rejuvenating in a way, as if this is right. You feel at peace. That content feeling has left you long ago, and now you just feel right, as if this is how it was supposed to end. This is where Call meets his final destination. This is it. And you approach forward. You feel yourself starting to smile, knowing that you did everything you could in your life, knowing that you lived by your code, and that you helped as many people as you could along the way. You are maybe 10 feet away from this lighted gateway. Do you want to proceed forward?
For the most part, I think so. I don't really have an alternative.
Yeah, this certainly doesn't feel like a bad thing. You move forward. You're now right face to face with this illuminating passageway. You can't see where it goes. You don't even know if you can step through this, really. You reach out very timidly, and you press your hand against what you assume to be either an entranceway or maybe a door or something. And you see that your hand does begin to kind of go through. And you feel on the other side, again, just this warmth, this inviting and happy warmth.
But it could be a trap.
At this point, you have no idea. It's been, in your mind, it's been years since you've entered this place and you've started walking forward.
Let's do it.
You take another step forward. You think about the life you had. And you think, I did okay. And in that moment, you hear something for the first time. You haven't heard anything since you've been in this place. And you feel from almost a tremor kind of right beneath the surface. You've been walking on some surface this whole time, and ripples in the water sort of moving out towards you, a shock wave almost, if you will. You start to hear this intense splashing and crashing happen behind you as you begin to approach the gateway, and you're just a step away from entering. And you feel these tendrils, these hands, rise up out of this weird murky red liquid and start to grab you by your ankles and by your arms and around your shoulders. And it starts to slowly, against all your strength, just pull you backwards.
Whoa.
And as it starts to pull you backwards and you see that light gateway getting smaller and smaller as you were just so close to reaching that destination, it begins to pull you down into the liquid, into this murky pool. And you're struggling now because you feel this was your purpose. This is what you were meant to do. This is what you've been trying to do now for so long, since you could remember. And you're so close, and something now has reached out and stopped you. And as you begin to plummet down into this liquid, your eyes you're just barely above this sort of water level as you begin to get pulled down further and further. And now the light sort of obscured by the waves of this reddish liquid as it turns blacker and blacker as you sink further and further down. And you hear one voice, one singular sentence. It ring out in your mind just for a moment before you lose consciousness again. And that says, "I'm not done with you yet, Call." And you wake up. You're in your room. You're in the dark room that you guys have been in this whole time. You feel awful. You have 1 HP. Your body is battered and broken and bruised. But like a sudden jolt of electricity, you're back in your body again.
Whoa. That was crazy. Did I die? Or was I about to die?
I don't know.
Does my head hurt?
Severely. You think you might still be dying, to be honest with you.
Oh. Shit. My everything hurts. Where is Ribbons?
You look around you. The room is no longer this pitch black darkness. It's lit up by the torch. The torch illuminates the entire room. You can see your companions, Mendax and Nigel, are laying in their respective corners. I believe Nigel got knocked unconscious near the door, and Mendax was in the middle of the room somewhere near kind of where you were, Call, if I was right. And you see them laying on the ground, the torch at the ground as well, and you see the door open just slightly. Mendax, you're unconscious too, right?
Oh, very much so.
As you lose consciousness and you slip out of reality, we're winding back just a little bit to when Gothel was fighting you all, and he kind of cracks your head almost in two. And the splitting pain that just sort of shears down your body, it's indescribable. Your body shuts off just as a defense mechanism. This is the only way that you could even possibly survive. You go unconscious and you sort of start, almost feels like falling into a similar sort of void or abyss for a moment. And as you sort of have this, again, the sensation of just falling. You open your eyes for the first time. Again, you're not sure how much time has passed. But the room around you, it's hazy, it's blurry. There's lights everywhere. There's everything is lit up. You don't know what's going on. You can hardly move. You still have that pain in your head as well. You realize after taking a few moments, you're actually being held in somebody's arms. As you're looking up at a face that's unfamiliar to yours. You can't make out any sort of features. You can't make out any details. But the room starts to come alive around you. It's still hazy. It's still blurry. But you know that there's other people around you now. And they're doing something. They're whispering. They're talking. There's some noise happening. You can't make out anything that's being said. But you realize everybody in that room is shouting at each other. They're screaming at each other. And you realize there's this shrill crying that's happening in the room as well. As you start looking around, you see it's a very very sophisticated room that you're in. There are again, it's lit up very nicely. There are extremely fine curtains and chairs, tables. The clothes that everybody is wearing are extremely fine silks. But everybody is screaming and shouting. And you realize that the one that's crying is you for a moment before you wake up once again. And you're in this room near Mr. Call. That splitting pain is back in your head, and you don't know if that was even real. If that was just your mind putting together some sort of protection to save you from the pain. If even for a moment you can barely move, you can barely make a noise of discomfort. But you look around for a second, it's still that hazy dizziness. And you see Carl also begin to stir as well. And the door that you're near cracks open as well. You see the same door that Carl saw crack open. And you look over to see who steps into the room. But before we get to that, let's, of course, take care of Nigel, who's about to be squished by this door. Nigel, you are the first person to get knocked unconscious, if memory is right. He he took your head and essentially tried to smash it like a watermelon into the side of the door as you were trying to open it to get out to get ribbons to just open up the room. Was that right?
Yes. There is a rather impressive dent in the door that was made with my head. Thank you very much.
True. Splattered with blood and maybe even some fragments of bone, to be honest with you, as your skull is undoubtedly crushed. But in the moments of life or consciousness that you have before, you felt this fleeting sense of just terror as you realize that this is probably it. This is probably the end. You guys have encountered a foe that you are certainly outmatched by. What were you guys thinking trying to take on this opponent? What were you thinking leaving the tower and teaming up with these hooligans? Why did you do this? You could have been safe this whole time. You could have just gone to a library. It's sort of these last fleeting moments of your mind just trying to comprehend how you got here, what decisions led you to this moment, to the end of your life, presumably. And as those moments start to race through your mind, you have a similar experience to Mendax, where you begin to see these scenes. You know, your mind is more sophisticated than your companions. Your mind works differently. It compartmentalizes, it organizes just on its own, automatically. You don't have to do anything. It's just how you've always worked. It's how you've become such a good wizard in such a short time. And you realize very quickly through the haze that these scenes that you're seeing, or these memories, if you could call them that, they don't belong to you. As you're looking out on a land filled with just piles and mountains of corpses, bones and broken bodies just piled up on each other. It stinks. It smells horrible. You smell burning tar and pitch, burning rubber. You choke, you gag, you start coughing. You can't imagine a worse place to be than this. You think for a second that maybe you're in hell. Maybe all those religions might actually be true. You've turned them aside long ago, but maybe they were right. Maybe you deserve to be here for all the things you've done. Suddenly, the scene shifts into a town. It's a small town, a small village, and you hear screams, people running in terror, as these small cottages. It's a small, peaceful village. Are just lit aflame, burnt to the ground, and their bodies start to just get smattered across the road as these unknown figures, creatures, if you can call them that, begin running through and killing them all. But it's not fear that you feel in this moment. You don't feel afraid. You almost feel a sense of power, as if you're coming into your own sense of purpose, in a way, that this village that you're watching is burning down, and it's because of you. That these creatures that are running around killing all these people are doing so on your command. And it doesn't scare you. It doesn't make you sick. You almost feel a small sense of delight as you realize the power that you wield. But that fades just as quickly as it comes. And you wake up groggily. Once again, you know instantly that you are dying, for sure. These are your body regained consciousness for moments, maybe. You know for sure the calculations were done the instant your head hit that door. That is certainly enough force to just kill you, and that this is the end for you. There's no shot. But suddenly, the door opens just a crack, and squishes your body a little bit against the wall, which sends just shockwaves of pain. You can't make a noise. You can't say anything other than just lay there helpless and absolutely destroyed and in pain. All three of you are conscious again, if you can call it that, beaten and broken, battered, and just in absolute pain and agony. You wish you were dead. And Ribbon steps through the door, and he just kind of pokes his head through for a moment. Hello? Are you okay in here? And he kind of opens the door a little more and just shuffles his little wiry goblin body through. Oh dear, oh my. What happened? And he takes his time. He goes to each of you. He quickly assesses the scene. Nigel, he sees you're literally, I mean, it'll be a miracle if you survive this. He goes to you and he uses up the last of his spells that he has in order to resuscitate you, to bring your body to a stable condition. You feel the bones in your skull start to realign and almost crack into place as they smush your brain a little bit back into where it should be. Your jaw also kind of clicks back in with this sickening snap as the bones are mended, and your body, which is still in just sheer agony, begins to sort of reform itself almost against its will. You feel unnatural once again, but you feel the strength enough to breathe and to groan only.
Shit.
Good, you rest there, Master Nigel. I will tend to the others. And you hear that Ribbons is saying something, but you have no real clue what it is that he said. And he goes to each of you, sort of assessing your wounds and your condition. Call, you're in the best state of everybody in here. He goes to Mendax and he tries to use just very, very low-level magic to just stabilize your body. You guys have been going through this dungeon for a very long time, so he doesn't have that much magic left. But he calls on whatever will he has left. Mendax, he mends your broken state as well, at least to a temporary position. And you're, once again, yes, your bones, your ribs sort of crack into place and realign. You feel your inside shifting beneath your skin as it all begins to sort of just fuse itself and stitch itself back together.
Oh.
Very uncomfortable.
Oh.
And with that, yeah, Call, he fixes you up as well the best that he can, getting you back into whatever form you can be. Call, you alone are able to sort of barely crawl forward with your arms only. The rest of you are still just absolutely laid out. There's very little you can do. Nigel, you lose consciousness again, actually, for a moment, but are sort of burst back in. Again, it's difficult to tell exactly how much time is passing as Ribbons is tending to all of you. You know, however, that at some point, Ribbons begins to feed you all something. As soon as you've regained enough strength to eat, you see he has a bundle of something in his arms, and he starts ripping off little pieces of it and sort of helping you guys eat and chew through. And as you do that, you feel very resuscitated. You feel, with every bite you take, you start to feel more alive, as if that fire of life is starting to rekindle inside of your body.
Stonefish?
You're not sure. You begin to come to as he goes. He's trying to almost hit you guys equally so that he doesn't want to lose any of you. And he's just ripping these chunks off of something. You're not sure what it is still, but through the course of a few minutes to maybe even up to an hour, who knows, whatever was in his arms, he puts down the remnants of onto the ground. And you all feel alive, rejuvenated, as if you're almost back to normal again. You take a few shallow breaths, and you realize you probably have the strength to stand. You probably have the strength to speak for the first time since you were knocked out on the floor. And he looks at you all. He sort of almost like helped you maneuver to the same section so he doesn't have to keep running out of the moving around the same room. And he goes, "Are you okay, masters? Have you survived quite the ordeal? It sounded like chaos in here. What happened? You're barely alive." And he'll look at each of you. Any of you that you can all talk. You still feel worn out for a moment, but you realize you're your strength has returned. Whatever Ribbons was feeding you was kind of giving you that strength back, giving you that will to survive.
There was a creature. He called himself Gothel. He was not a man. There was a darkness about him. He laughed with wickedness, but seemed to enjoy our fight. We could see hardly anything, and it was almost as though we were being drawn into his power. We did everything we could to fight, but it's hard to fight when you can't see, and we were stuck because the door closed behind us. We're pretty banged up. Thank you, Ribbons, for helping us.
Anything for the masters, of course. Whatever the Dark Mistress has for Ribbons to do, I shall do it. A creature, you say? What did this creature look like? The door was shut. I could not open it, though I tried.
He was very mighty, and he was chained, but he was able to break his chains of his own power. And he was blindfolded and hurt by the light. I don't know exactly what manner of creature he was. Did you see him leave here?
He's just kind of processing what you say for a moment.
Yes, I did see him leave. I was standing right outside the door trying to find a way to get into the masters. It was a terrible noise. In here, I thought I wouldn't ever see you all again. But as soon as the noise subsided, the creature which you described stepped through, opened the door with ease. And he looked down on Ribbons, and, well, he patted my head. And then he did something most peculiar. Well, I don't know how else to describe it, really, but he ripped off his arms. He ripped three of his arms off. He ripped his left one and then his right one. Such a pain. What would this creature be doing? But in my amazement, they grew back as soon as he had ripped them off. And he gave me 3 of them. He told me, if you want to save your friends, you must feed them my flesh. And so I took a gamble, I took a risk. But it seems as if it's worked.
And at that moment, you look over to the right side, you see that the remnants of what he put down was just like skeletal muscle tissue of 3 arms.
Oh,
These
my God.
massive arms.
I don't know how, but your life is saved and taken and saved because of this creature. I sense a dark and strong magic within him.
I thought it
He
tasted
left.
great. I beat him during the fight, and it healed me a great deal, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you realize as you sort of are gagging and having this disgusting realization of what's happening, you've never felt stronger than this moment right now. This sort of power as it's being digested in your system, which makes you even more almost pale with what's happening. You realize that you feel this almost overwhelming increase in power, and you each level up to level 7 because you ate one of his arms each.
Could use a bit more
congratulations.
seasoning.
What
It
if
was
we had
Lember's
eaten the
bread, It was
thigh?
Lember's bread. It wasn't actually his arm. Don't ever speak of this again. Okay? Don't ever remind me of what just happened. Didn't happen. It was some sort of magical bread from his goddess. That's what happened.
I've eaten worse.
You
Straight up.
certainly have.
Are there still the 2 arms that he ripped off inside the room? Just
No.
asking.
They were still stuck on that thing that he had around his neck.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying. I mean, it's really gross, but it pretty helpful.
That is true.
Kebabs for the road.
That's right.
Could use some salt, maybe some cloves, maybe a little bit of cinnamon. Freshen it up a little bit.
Sounds like a very autumnal dish.
Yeah,
I like it. I need some black cracked pepper on there as well.
yeah. Fresh pepper, not even that store shit.
No, absolutely not. Kind of plebs do you think would put store-bought regular powdered pepper on a dish like that?
Yeah.
Ribbons, seeing that you kind of all are back to your normal weird selves,
He says, "Well, I'm just thankful that it worked. I tried a few bites of the strange dish before entering the room. I didn't know if it would poison or kill you, but it seemed safe enough, so I took the chance."
Thank you, Ribbons. You did the right thing. We weren't sure whether to trust him. He was very slippery and smooth with his words, but all the signals pointed to him being evil. But why would he want us to live? It's strange.
I couldn't tell you, but I would avoid that creature, Master Call, if I was you. A darkness within him. None like ever I've seen before. And I'm a dark cleric. I mean, that's like my thing, man.
Fair enough. If he spooks the Dark Cleric, then he's very spooky. Next level.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought we were doing all right first, and then I think I pissed him off when I talked some smack, and he decided to basically knock me out in a single punch, and then finished us off. I imagine rather quickly after that. I don't really know since I didn't see the rest of the fight, but it seemed like he wasn't almost even trying until we angered him.
well, maybe you'll find him again one day. You'll get to ask him. Or not. Who knows? But yes, each of you are now level 7. I did have you guys prep your level 7 level up, so you should basically be good to go there. With leveling up, you do refresh everything that you have, so all of your rages, all of your spell slots, you're healed back to full HP, all of those things are back to normal. So you have everything that you started the dungeon with.
So, fun thing for reference, you're supposed to roll as a barbarian a d12 to figure out how many additional hit points you get. And Carl, being the amazing roller that he is, with the luckiest dice ever rolled a 1. So I got the least possible benefit from this. I think it was just because I had already restored some of my health during the fight by eating his flesh that I had basically developed a tolerance, so it didn't quite, do as much as it could have. But
I think so.
I also gained something called Feral Instinct, which means that for any initiative situation, there's combat that's about to happen, my senses of just when that's going to happen are just so sharp, they're super sharp, that I have advantage to be the first to act.
Nice. So you get initiative on advantage. Did you get anything else with your level up? 7 is a weird one. Sometimes you get some really big stuff. Sometimes you get some pretty minor stuff. But that's very cool. So you're much more likely to go first.
There's also, if I'm surprised at the beginning of combat and I'm not incapacitated, I can act normally on my first turn if I enter a rage before doing anything else. But I don't know what it means to get surprised. I guess
So
if
if
Nine
you
goes
get
like, "Hey, call!" and I'm like, "Whoosh."
Surprise round is if you don't see combat like coming your way and you guys prepare for it. Basically, think of it like an ambush, which means everybody else gets to take a full turn, and then it goes to initiative, which could possibly mean that they go 2 times in a row.
Oh,
So you guys have surprised some fights and you just basically you get to go first. Awesome. Well, besides your unfortunate roll of a 1 on your D12, all sounds very cool. Mendax, what did you get with your level up?
With mine, I rolled an 8. So I'm the exact opposite of Carl. Apparently, me not chewing on Gothel during the fight helped in this case.
Yes.
My lack of Gothel in my system. I was not immunized against the
Yeah.
positive effects of Gothel.
Magic
and-
Gothel flesh.
Yes. Delicious. Gothel jerky. I got
good, actually.
evasion at level 7. So that gives me and it helps me out with area attacks. So
Okay.
if there's an attack with an area of effect where you would normally roll to take half damage.
Mhm.
If I roll and I succeed the check, I take no damage. If I fail the check, I take half damage.
Got it. That's very good. That's huge, actually. That's insane.
It's not bad
nice.
at all. And it's a dexterity one, which is fairly good for me.
The big question, though, is will the Wayfarers remember to use these things?
That's the struggle.
Because
That's the
Carl
constant
made it
struggle.
through all of Season 1 without even knowing that he takes half damage to slashing, bludgeoning, and piercing.
And you guys did pretty good still, you know?
Yeah.
Nigel, what did you get? I know that there's a lot of spell decisions that you get to make, so maybe you haven't finished those quite yet, in which case, no problem. But if you have made them, feel free to share.
I have. You know, I always... you can think for too long as a wizard about, should I learn this spell or that spell? And I won't lie. The thought of being able to summon a 20-foot square filled with giant black writhing tentacles penetrate my opponents and try to hold them down,
Oh, no, God.
you know, damage them, so to say. I've resisted the urge to go for the black tentacles. So I am an invisibility mage who is a bit jaded after coming to this past, future, shitty world that we're in right now. And yeah, I've been toying with a little bit of necromancy, a little bit of summoning some skeletons and whatnot. But I've gone back to my initial school of magic, which is of course illusion. So
Very nice.
I already know invisibility, but it has limitations. It's a 1 hour long invis that can get broken by interacting with objects or attacking. We are going now for greater invisibility as well, which means I can create a minute of invisibility for someone that is not going to be broken by. So I can put that on Mendax, and she can stab as many people in the crotch in that minute as she feels like. And yeah, I'm hoping to help my team out.
That's crazy. That's
Which is
crazy.
even better.
Invis on Mendax, yeah.
Because I forgot to say that I get a higher damage on my sneak attacks now as well. We get 4
that's right.
d6s for the sneak attack. So, dicks off all day. All day.
I don't know if that's our catchphrase. I don't know if that's the catchphrase.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
Well, it's a sale right now. Come on into Mendax's shop. We've got dicks off. They're all on. They're falling everywhere.
Dicks off all day.
Oh, God.
They don't want to
Then
be on
the
Mendax's
dick-
bad
Then
side,
the
I'll
dick's
tell you
gone.
that.
It just drops right off.
Mate, you're flat in front like Ken, no prob. Come on up.
My goodness,
Dicks off all day.
why are we turning into Cockney Brits?
Give you one of them proper Ken dolls, yeah? Just
I sh-
not up front.
I should have killed him. I should have just killed you guys. You should just be dead. I should have moved on when I had the chance, man.
All 3 of you suddenly have a heart attack.
You die. It's over. Sorry, guys. Wayfarers is done. Shoot.
I get 2 spells though, so I do have another
Yes.
4th level spell. These are of course my first 4th level spell slots.
Woo, big powers.
We're also going within an aggressive illusion. It's not often you get to do damage with illusions, so we're going with
Okay.
Phantasmal Killer. So essentially,
Sounds
that
super
basically
cool.
I create an illusion of whatever that creature most fears. So I target a specific creature with it, and I can basically just kind of divine what they're most
Oh, I
afraid
love
of.
this.
I create an illusion of it, and they immediately become frightened, and they have to do like a wisdom saving throw every game. So this is going to be especially useful on like trolls and big dumb things that aren't going to have the greatest wisdom. And they're not only frightened, which of course means they have disadvantage on everything and they can't move towards it. They'll also
Right.
take 4 d10 damage a turn that they fail.
Holy smokes.
So,
Okay.
they basically start taking nightmare damage, psychic damage.
Damn.
Yep.
Oh, I love that spell. Oh, that's fantastic.
Whoa.
Great. I love it. I
That's
love
got
it.
a lot of
the root
variety
it
in what's
with
going to
the
happen.
illusion magic.
Yeah, I love it too because I get to pick what the people are afraid of. So that's sick. I'm excited for that one. Very cool. Well, some very strong level ups for you all. Just at the cost of eating some arms. No big deal.
Yeah. Well, the lats have been growing, and as gross as that weird lemba spread that we ate was, they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. We've been rowing. We've been going through forests. I've been making undead zombies, but we're feeling good. We're growing. I rolled a 3, by the way, on my Ds. So I've gone from 36 to 41 hit points, which is a pretty sizable
man,
chunk for
we'll
a
take
skinny
that.
wizard.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, you guys are in the room. If you want to pull up the map, I can show you exactly and just kind of refresh your memory which room you're in. But Gothel is nowhere in sight. Somebody still has the blue antler, correct?
Carl was coming over to my dead body. Not quite dead body, I think.
Horribly
At the
mangled
time.
body.
Horribly mangled, head split open body. Because I'd had it already, but I think you got it. I think you picked it up before you died, so
Yeah.
I think you probably have it.
I think I have the green one, or does one of you two?
No,
You
I tried
have
to
the
use
green
it.
one.
I put them together to try to help Mendax or something, and
Oh, never
nothing
mind.
happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
But it looked cool.
Looked okay.
It was pretty cool.
I guess. All right, sure. You guys are in room 9. So room 8 were some wizards and some one-eyed monsters that you guys like to make fun of me for. Room 7 was the big arcane golem that Nigel punched and then almost died. Yeah, and I think you guys probably remember the rooms after that. So yeah, you're in room 9. You have both the green and the blue antler.
Just
What
to
would you like to do?
clarify the places we've been. I know we've
Yes.
been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did that. That
Yep.
was fairly early, basically our first pass in the place. 6 was the dormitory, where all
Yep.
of them were. 2 was the statues and stuff. And I don't know
Yep.
if we've been to 10, 11, 12.
We've not.
You've not. Nope. You've not been to 10. You've not been to 11, 12, 13, or 14.
Yeah.
So that would be sort of the last areas of the dungeon, as it would be.
So sorry, we're in 8.
You're in 9 right
We're
now.
in
You're in
9.
9. The
Yeah,
offshoot
8
of
was
8.
kind of, I think, where Ribbons was standing. Basically,
Right.
like, there's a doorway, or not really. He's in the hallway,
Somewhere
but, like,
in that hallway.
in that
But yeah.
direction.
Yep,
Yeah.
you got it. You got it exactly. Well, very cool. Ribbons seems rejuvenated as well from the flesh that he tried from the arms after he stabilized you guys. So he has his spell slots back as well.
Woo!
Maybe we'll even give him a level up for old Ribbons too. Might happen, who knows.
Go Ribbons.
Could I give
Nice.
Ribbons a high five?
Yeah, how do you want to accomplish that? He doesn't know what high fives are.
Ribbons, up top. And I'll put my hand up like this.
He'll look at you. I'm sorry, so what's up top?
Put your hand like this. And I will give him a nice high five. Good job, Ribbons.
Yes, very, very good, master. Yes, very good.
Maybe it's a Birdvarian thing.
He certainly has no idea what's going on, but hey, he's here for the ride. He's happy. His companions, his new friends, are not dead. Hooray! Yeah. Okay. Cool. On you guys. You're in the room. You're fully maxed out, rejuvenated. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to press forward into the dungeon, you're more than welcome to. If you would like to run back home, tails tucked between your legs, you can do that too. Just a couple of options.
Nigel, you look kind of banged up. Your jaw actually looks better. That's weird. You look very manly.
It feels
And I
stiff. It doesn't.
It has this weird clicking now whenever you open it.
It's a little. It's not. I mean, I'm happy to not have my head dented in anymore either, but I'm not sure. Feels a little bit not quite right. The sooner we get out of here, the better.
Mendax, are you all right?
I mean, I feel like I've not been better, but at the same time, I've definitely been better. DM question. Do we remember what we saw?
Yes.
I just...
You're at liberty to share that if you want to. You do not have to. Those were personal things for you guys.
Did either of you, see anything while you were nearly dead?
I was dead for years. Well,
Wait, for years?
yeah. Maybe months. Pretty long months, though. It was an abyss of darkness. In a pool of stuff that tasted like... Well, it didn't. And I walked. And trudged. And there was a bright light. And it was warm and lovely. And I was like, oh, let's go there. That seems good. There's nothing else to do. I couldn't find you guys. Or ribbons. And I was getting to the light. And it was great. Like sitting in the sun. And I stepped forward. But then I was grabbed and pulled underground. And then I woke up and everything hurt. And I was back in Gothel's room. What happened to you?
I mean, not that. That's for sure. I was in a room, but it wasn't dark. It was bright. It was so bright, I almost couldn't see. It was so hazy. But there were people in it, and I couldn't make out their faces, but they were all yelling. And right before I came to, I realized that it felt like someone was holding me, and I was crying. So I knew I had to be comatose or something, because I... obviously. And then I woke up and I was here. And also, everything hurt.
Did it
And my
last as long
innards
for
were
you?
spilling on the floor.
Did you also feel an immense amount of time like Carl?
No. No, it was so quickly for me. It felt like real time. It was just moments. Like flashes and then poof, back here.
Nigel? What happened to you? You got bashed the hardest.
It was just a lot of death. That's all I remember. I don't know if it's just a dream, but it felt like there was just death everywhere. And it felt like I had accepted it. More than accepted it, I don't know why. Felt like I'd caused it somehow. This place is getting to me, and I at this point am beyond homesick. I'm time sick. I don't like this place we've come to. All I can say is I don't know if I'll be making any more bobs. There was an uneasy feeling about the whole experience. There was just too much sadness in the world. I mean, it was even worse. What I dreamt of was even worse than this place. So I don't want to go into details. I'd best forget.
That's fair. Well, we have each other. So, there's something worth fighting for, at a minimum. And good ribbons here. Not to mention Goop.
Yeah, it's ribbons. We have you to thank for our lives.
Your little pet Ratty, you have him as well. Can't promise for how long.
For how long? What's your problem with Ratty?
He fucking bit me in your tower, and I've not forgotten it.
Come on, it was a long time ago.
Hmm.
I mean, come on. He would never hurt you now, would you, Ratty?
I'm going to reach out towards Ratty, see what happens.
Okay. Roll animal handling. With this in mind, that Ratty is basically completely under your control, Nigel, you can tell him to do almost anything. So, depending, you can
I am gonna
subvert whatever I'm
abstain,
saying.
and I
so-
am letting the natural
Okay.
kind of animal spirit from which I conjured and kind of put him into, right? Since he is a familiar now, it's not quite the same as the original Ratty, but I'm letting just his natural state react to her as he will. I'm not going to interfere.
I rolled an 11 plus 1, so 12.
Okay. He doesn't really do anything. He just kind of his snout sniff your hand curiously, kind of like what do you want? Scree. There you go. There's your rat. RPG.
He just wasn't used to you
He
before.
kind of
then.
sounded like Migos.
Scree.
Pop, pop.
No, still don't trust him. Just going to give him the eye.
We had a mission here, didn't we?
Oh, you're right.
Oh, you can't win a stare off with him, by the way. He has 4 eyes, you only have 2. Like, you're basically screwed if you try to give him the eye.
But
He is
she
just
can hellish
back
rebuke
at
him.
you. That's true. That might.
I mean,
I can close
Yeah.
one at a time very easily. I do it all the time when I'm slightly inebriated and need to read a bar menu to decide my next drink.
I basically get Ratty to just like simultaneously wink back at you as well and start like kind of doing both right eyes, then both left eyes, then the other ones. So he's kind of winking back and forwards on both heads simultaneously like a little flashlight.
You're not my mirror, you little shit.
Battling unfathomable beings of power and darkness into a staring contest and argument with a small rat. Wayfarers.
Two-headed rat, thank you.
I need to feel powerful again. We were just owned completely. I'm taking my power back on Ratty. We're starting small.
Mendax, you've kicked plenty of ass leading up to this point. Just because there was a secret super god in here, well, it's not our fault.
How did they get the super god in here?
I don't know.
He could only have been in here because he wanted to be, but honestly, who's bold enough to sit in whatever our final consensus was that we were calling it? I think we were calling it the Rax, but I think it was also called something else.
Pelican, something like that. Pelican? I can't remember.
Pelican.
Nigel looked it up,
Pelican.
and then he figured it out.
We were calling it the stocks, but then it was another word.
But
not
it
the
wasn't the
Rax, calling it
stocks.
There's a bunch of different ones, right? I can't even remember them all now.
I can't either.
Do you think he killed the bandits in the barracks on his way out?
You can go check if you want to.
No, not right now. I'm just going to hope for the best. Probably need to get on with it and start looking for that food while we still feel good after our definitely not
It's a
evil
pillory.
god arm with bread.
A pillory.
Hillary,
that was
it.
That was it. You had the P right though.
Yeah. It was a pillory.
Pillory. Which he broke from
Nice.
easily with his strength. So we have a bunch of thinking to do about why he was here and what his place is in this overall landscape. It's very foreign to us still. We were from a better time, objectively, with more trees and grass.
In our day, there were never evil dark gods hidden in pillories in dark places. Ever.
On the plus side, I think he likes fighting and killing things, and most of the things out there are already dead, so the less dead things there are left standing, the happier I am.
That's true.
Hmm.
And he didn't seem to like the bandits. He did want to hurt them, or at least he didn't want to hurt us when he found out we weren't bandits. He only started wanting to hurt us when he thought we were bandits because someone who shall remain nameless, but whose name might rhyme with Schmeigel, lit a fucking bonfire in front of his face.
It was,
So maybe he
it was
did kill the
feet
bandit.
away from him. It was totally acceptable if he wasn't apparently extremely sensitive to light. He, at that point, literally had taken away our sense of sight and was luring us in next to him where he could have his way with us. I don't think things were headed down a good decision from the moment Carl, the fearless, decided to step in there into the sphere of darkness next to the freaky god.
How was
No
I
offense,
supposed to
Carl.
know it was a super god in there? Could have just been a dark corridor. Maybe a cupboard with some...
You've won too many arm wrestles with ogres at this point. Your confidence is overbearing.
Heckin' Schmeigel, dude.
Well. I think we put up a good fight, all things considering. It wasn't a very fair fight.
Not at all. And Nigel got some good hits in there. Nigel did some shit talking right before you got smashed into the door, didn't you?
Yeah, he did.
That was nice. Well done, Nigel.
I do think if we had any chance of defeating him, it was always going to be about removing his blindfold. That's what really pissed him off. His sensitivity to light seemed to be the only thing. None of us seems to have any great ways of creating light, except for my bonfires, though. And, yeah. It was when I hit him with a firebolt and it ignited on his face. That was when he seemed to actually take us seriously for the first time.
Or should we jog on and finish our quest?
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of here. Ribbons, do you have any more magical powers left, or are you out?
Oh yes, I like I said, I took a few bites of the arm before I gave it to the masters, just to make sure that it was safe, and find myself quite rejuvenated. Thank you for checking on Ribbons, Nigel, friend.
Fantastic. You've saved us once again. We will be in your debt. Let us go back around this corner and head down the last corridor we haven't headed down.
Okay. You guys head back to room 8. It's basically how you left it. There's dead bodies there too, but yeah, you can head down that last corridor that proceeds to that sort of split area that goes between what are the rooms?
10 and 14.
Yeah, 10 and 14. Exactly. Thank you.
Loot? We don't get loot. We lost.
You can loot some pebbles and blood off the ground if you want. You can take his arm bones if you want.
Our loot was the arm that we got to gnaw on to stop ourselves from dying, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess we could go either do the diligence and go 10, 11, 12 and see what's down that way. Was 14 the way toward the exit?
You have no idea.
We don't know. So far, the only exit we know.
Oh, the exit is 1.
Right.
Into 1.
Yeah, yeah. That's where you guys came in from.
Okay.
So we have about half the map left to search for the food.
And
No,
you
we-
only died once.
There was food in room 8. So we know there's some here.
There's some here, not all of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think Mendax, your choice if you want to go right or left, but I think you should lead by at least a few feet, and we should still stay a little stealthy.
Let me input here. I didn't realize you guys headed down the corridor already. So as you move down from room 8, you're now sort of at that crossroads. You see that immediately before the hallway to get to room 14, there is this massive, super ornate iron door. It actually it looks more like artwork. You don't realize what it is, but checking the map that you got from the dwarf outside, you realize that this is supposed to lead to the corridor that goes to room 14. It doesn't look like a door. It just looks like this giant piece of sculpted iron. And it depicts a giant elk sort of standing on one of these, on like a stone in the middle of what looks like a forest. Give me a perception check, each of you. I just want to see who rolls the highest.
Spoiler alert, it will not be me.
Rolled an 11, but I'm a very perceptive bird, so 16.
Okay.
17 plus 2, 19.
Nice.
I've got a 3 + 1 for my good old friend 4.
Nigel,
You're not-
Mendax always notices things.
You guys are staring at it and like, wow, this is very nice art. Mendex is staring at a stone wall next to it and like, yes, this is beautiful. This is ornate. One of the best walls I've ever seen.
Direction completely. I've just turned
Yeah.
around.
She's a great scout. Her ankles have found many a fox trap before we even knew it was there.
Blessed be the stone cutters.
Nigel, you realize first as you guys are sort of struck in awe of this this sort of masterful work of art, that there are 3 sort of indents on the elk's head, where the antlers would be coming out.
Well, this doesn't exactly seem like too much of a puzzle. The antlers, clearly the key into this door. So I will pull out my green antlers and just see if I can fit them in on top of its head.
Yeah, you notice that each of the antler, sort of the ends, whatever those are called, they're shaped differently. So there's only one spot that they could go into. You quickly find the one, and yep, sure enough, the green antler snaps into place, and almost this sort of thrum of energy starts to dissipate from the green antler, and it goes into this iron door, sort of painting the greens that are present in the iron itself. So it starts to make the trees that have this green foliage on it, the grass that's at the base of the elk, and it sort of begins to shade almost this entire thing green.
Wow. Beautiful. I don't know what a door like this is doing in this place, but hell, I don't know what Gothel was doing here either. Seems to be an older place than the bandits that have now using it as their residence, so who knows what we'll find behind this. Let's see if the blue antler fits in as well.
Yes, sure enough. Just similarly to the green, you find the one that has the slot that fits the blue one. A similar effect happens where it sort of begins to meld with the door. The blue begins to drain out of the antler, turning into this pale, more iron-like color, more, I guess, bone-like color would be more appropriate. And it begins to shade everything appropriately blue. So you're starting to get these nice hues in the ironwork as well. The sky now is this beautiful shade of green and blue, and it's starting to look like a full painting once again. But obviously, it's missing the third antler, presumably the third color, to make it all look complete.
All right, let's go the other direction and see if we can find the antler down here.
We can't just use the power of friendship?
Oh, or we could try. Hands in, everybody.
All right. Friendship. The
Friendship.
Wayfarers.
Chip.
And I take the other hand
Friendship.
and I reach from the friendship hand and I put it up against the door where the antler goes and I try to kind of fit my fingers into the
Fuck doors.
grooves.
Did it work?
It did. No.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa.
Friendly fingering of wood.
Yeah. No, it didn't work at all. Nothing happened. Of course.
Oh.
Rude.
Yeah. Well.
Rude.
I cast Windspeak.
You don't have that spell, nothing happens.
Damn.
It's not a spell, it's just an ability. So you don't have to cast it.
He
Nope,
did
it's
eat
not.
a lot of that jerky just before we came into the dungeon, and I can definitely
That's
smell his
true.
Windspeak right now, if you know what I'm talking about.
It would have worked
Are
if
we
I
sure?
rolled higher.
Maybe he didn't eat an arm. Maybe he ate a bit of a, brown nut. And now he can speak wind even better.
That's gross.
He got the paper bag colored starfish.
No.
It's crazy how being knocked out just seemingly removed some memories from your guys' minds. You can't ever recall that you even think that you could speak wind, or that Call could speak wind. That's nuts.
Let's go
You don't
to
even
a
remember
different
what
place.
wind is. Just wait till I start taking things away from you.
I shake my head gravely.
I've already lost my cloak of protection. I've nothing else.
I will march away from this door and this situation toward room 10.
Okay. You march towards room 10. It is just an open passageway. There are no doors that block your path on the way to room 10. Room 10 is empty. There's really nothing in there. There's a couple of empty tables, some empty chairs. As you turn right in this sort of almost diamond-shaped room, you can see that there is more storage towards the back. It looks like more piles of boxes and crates and sort of barrels, things that are stacked. It looks like this is maybe the main storehouse for this area.
That's great. And it's so many
hurry
things that
over.
we obviously couldn't carry them out in one go. It would be an operation.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
Do you guys go into the room at all?
Yeah. Take a peek.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, you go in there, you start examining some of the barrels, some of the crates. You can see that a lot of them are presumably the rations that were meant for the town that these bandits stole. There are some other just sort of random barrels, probably from other raids that they had done as well. You don't see anything of extreme value or anything super valuable, other than these are more than likely the rations that you guys have been searching for this whole time. This combined with what was in room 8 most certainly should make up most of, if not all of the rations that were missing from the town.
Excellent.
So we know that they're here, but we pretty much knew they were here before. I don't think I can carry all of this back. I think we have to continue on with our plan of clearing out the whole dungeon and bringing the villagers here.
Yeah, we can carry back a barrel or two, enough rations to carry us over. But let's clear the place out, and we can stop back here on the way out.
Agreed.
If we bring back enough people to carry the boxes, we can also kill the bandits then, if we need to. The most important thing is knowing where stuff is.
Very true.
So, success. I would like to open one of the boxes with some rations and just nibble on some for a test. Just to make sure it's good stuff and it's not spoiled.
Absolutely. It's some dried jerky of some sort. You eat it. It tastes decent.
Great.
Let's load our packs up with enough provision for a good while without encumbering ourselves.
Agreed. There isn't, by any chance, like a barrel or two, nice little cork stuck in it.
There's lots of barrels in here.
Sloshes a bit when you push it.
If you want to take the time to search for one, you might be able to find one.
Okay, yeah, just a quick search. Well, I'm picking things up and putting it in my bag and making sure I'm walking by barrels and hip thrusting against them to see,
Yeah, a couple of them slosh while when you do that. Yeah, for sure.
Can I would like to try to remove is the cork on the side or on the top?
On the top. Why not?
Okay. I'd like to try to remove the cork on one of them.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Get big, let's go. I rolled an 18.
Okay.
And plus 0.
You didn't really need
I
a strength.
rolled an 18.
You didn't really need a strength check, but it seems like fun to do sometimes. Yeah, you uncork it, Absolutely. Yeah, there you go.
Is the liquid up high enough that I could get a peek at it, get a sniff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Recognize
Give me a
it.
D20.
How good is this drink?
I got a 1.
Ah.
It's the piss barrel, yes!
I found the porta
Yeah, they're
potty.
storing the piss
I
barrel.
found the
Absolutely.
goddamn bedpan barrel.
It's water. How about that? It's just straight up water.
Oh.
We got water over here. Might as well
all
fill
all
up.
of the ones you uncork are water.
God damn it! I don't even get a second chance.
No.
How do they even keep the water fresh? It would go. This is the dark magic.
I'll have
Must
some
be
water.
at work.
Yeah, it's
Fine, hand me
fairly
your-
fairly
Hand
clean.
me your flask. I'll fill up
pretty
everyone's
fresh water.
waters while they're filling up packs.
Imagine being upset that you found clean water. No.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, a low alcohol content ale or beer, we'd still be hydrated, but we'd get more calories for all the fighting we're about to do. It just makes sense. It's just science. We should be drinking beer.
It sounds like propaganda.
Sounds like I'm going to spit in your flask.
Well,
Yeah, you guys take a few minutes. You fill up your packs with enough rations, certainly at least for the return trip home. Even then some if you needed. And you fill up your flasks with fresh water and some extra flasks as well. You barely make even a remote dent in the amount of food and water that's located here. That takes you maybe all of, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
This was a good score. So, on
Not
to
bad at
room
all.
11.
About how many, just for inventory's sake, about how many pounds of rations can we have, or how many segments of rations can we fit without being encumbered?
I mean, I'll go with you have 3 weeks worth of rations. There you go.
All right, thank you
I
very
have
much.
Enough
not really
for 3
been
weeks.
tracking the rations too closely, to be fair,
Yeah,
this
not really.
campaign.
Just,
Only
I
you
was
know,
tracking. I was very good.
you-
I ruin everything. I track my arrows and the rations and my
That's
ball
great.
bearings. I've tracked
only
every
track
time I've thrown
condiments.
those.
Hot sauces and psychedelics is all I track in terms of
Yep,
consumables.
hot sauces and psychedelics, dude. It's the name of my next D&D campaign.
Still got a
But,
brown
I mean,
rat
that
syringe
sounds like
in
a
case
great
anyone's,
album name,
itching
It
for
does.
something a little saucy.
Hot sauces and psychedelics.
Yeah, you guys are you can take as long as you'd like in room 10. Whenever you want to move along, you let me know. If there's anything else you would like to do before heading to the next room. There is a door between room 10 and room 11.
Could be a trap.
Yep, certainly.
Don't worry, guys. I'll check it. I'd like to go check the door for a trap.
Okay. Roll probably a perception, yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. Well, yeah, I think somebody else did a sleight. I was like, who was feeling it got a sleight of hand. But you know, if you touch it, you might do it. And my sleight of hand is only a +3, so it's really not much better. So let's go
It is
perception.
crazy to me that you're not trained in like sleight of hand perception, but you know what? I applaud you for
I
not
went
picking the obvious rogue ones.
really hard into stealth
You
and
did.
acrobatics and persuasion, and I've yet to persuade anyone of anything because everyone just hates me.
It's
I have
super
high
true, yeah.
persuasion, low charisma. Wow, it makes a lot of sense,
I
but
love it.
fuck her.
I feel like the persuasion only works when you and the other person are both like 17 ales deep in the tavern. And usually the winning argument seems to be you smashing their head on the counter or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
It's a convincing
I feel like-
argument.
It's very, very persuasive.
rather competitive, you know. I'm not sure persuasion plus telling everyone to go fuck themselves is the best combination, but yeah.
That does happen a lot. What did
So-
you roll? Wait, what'd you get?
I got a 3 plus 1. I have rolled 4. 90% of it's like since we've gotten to this into the future, 90% of my perceptions have wound up either being a 4 to a 5 or a 3 to a 4. It's insane.
Hey man, I don't make the rolls. It's all on you. You feel confident there are no traps on this door.
I think we're good. I'm going to try to pick the lock. Well, I'm going to test the lock first instead of just going into picking it. I'm going to
Jiggle the
gingerly-
handle.
I'm just going to, gently jiggle it.
Yep.
Toss it around a bit.
Yep, absolutely. The door is indeed locked.
Okay. Then I would like to attempt to pick it.
All right, give me a sleight of hand.
That one is a 15 plus 3.
Okay, and you
And I have
should-
thieves' tools. So
yes,
I think, yes.
which should give you double proficiency on it, I believe.
I think it does. Adds my proficiency bonus.
Okay, so you get another +3 to it then.
Yes.
Yep, so +6, so 21. Yeah, you are able to very quickly click the tumblers into place and unlock the door.
Beautiful.
Good work.
Okay, then I'm going. Told you there were no traps. Then I'm
Men
going
next
to.
to-
Oh, the trap.
vigilant.
I forgot about that. Let me.
Okay, I'm going to have my little sneaky dagger out, and I'm going to open the door quietly as possible.
Okay. Yes, you do so. And on the other side, we'll have to wait until after our mid-session break.
Oh,
See you guys in about 5-ish minutes or so.
what
So
could be
fast.
behind the door leading to room number 11? Stay tuned and find out on this episode of Wayfarers.
Launch sequence engaged. Sound sequence engaged. Boom, da da boom, ba 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 boom, ba ba boom, ba boom, bam. Ladies and gentlemen, Wayfarers is back with a brief brush with the gaping maw of the void of death. By some magics unknown to them, the Wayfarers are still alive. They found a large storage room with a bunch of stuff and used the antlers and the power of friendship against a mysterious iron door. We continue with this episode of Wayfarers.
Welcome back. Room number 11. You have picked the lock, and now you're ready to see the horrors that lie behind such a nefarious door. Mendax, you were first. You pick the door. You're opening it slightly. You're gonna look inside, right? You're just gonna peek.
I am. I'm going to have my sneaky prick in my other hand.
Ready to roll. Got it. Okay, you look into room number 11, and what strikes you first is not what you see, but what you smell. You recognize, strangely enough, kind of a familiar scent. What the heck? What is that? And you realize there are dogs in there. As a dog-obsessed tiefling freak, for some reason, yeah, you know that there are dogs in this room somewhere, or there were dogs in this room at one point. You open the door a little bit more, and now you're beginning to see what is actually inside of the room itself. You see, roll a d12.
A D12. Oh,
Mhm.
come on. I got a 4.
You see 8 people standing in sort of a line on the other side of the room. It looks like they're all looking down at something. Give me a perception to see if you can make out what it is that they're blocking.
What's the over/under on this being a 4?
Pretty high, honestly. I would gamble a good amount of money on this being a 4. Come on, 3.
It's a 12 plus 1, baby.
Got it. You can see the unmistakable glint of bars. It looks like a cage.
And are they? Can I see, like, are they animatedly looking at it? They seem very focused.
They're just kind of staring at it. You can hear some mumbles of conversation. You can't really make out what they're saying. Doesn't look like they're like actively doing something. They're all just kind of looking down. So.
And do they look like bandits?
Certainly, yes.
Okay. I'm going to not move the door open anymore, turn back and look at my compatriots, and go.
Okay, you got that, compatriots?
Can you do it one more time?
8 salt shakers.
Perfect.
8 thumbs ups.
Just going to take my knife and go.
Fruit chopping. There's a chef. It's the kitchens.
It's
And they
the
have
kids,
8
the dreaded
guests.
kitchen.
Never mind. There are eight bandits in a cage.
Oh,
Not
bandits.
8 bandits.
Those are the bad ones.
Sorry, my sign was very much not bandits. It was very much, I want to stab them.
Oh, so what you do with bandits?
Yes, exactly.
Right. I thought you meant it was.
Perhaps too abstract for the moment.
Yeah.
We'll work on signals later.
Okay.
8 bandits around a cage. The backs are to us. I think if we are very sneaky, we can take a few of them out before they realize we're here.
Oh. Well, that's your department. I can rush in whenever.
That's very true.
I can
Okay.
explode all of them if we do feel like an indiscriminate murder, but your call.
But would it also murder whatever's in the cage in front of them?
Oh, for sure.
Almost certainly.
Oh, then no. What if this... It smells like dogs in there. What if there's a dog in the cage?
Then it's probably trained to try and kill intruders like us, and you're gonna have to
Not
stab
in the
it eventually.
cage. No, it's in the cage and the bandits are looking at it. If it was a trained dog, they wouldn't have to have it in a cage.
Fair call. We'll go hand to hand. Well, you two will. I'll try to help, which I won't be so useful. Anyway, you two lead in. I've got your back.
Okay. I'm going in because there might be a dog in that cage and I don't like it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to have my rapier in one hand, my sneaky prick in the other. And I would like to try to... So the cage is directly across, just straight line in front of it.
Yeah, it's sort of off to the right in this room, just slightly. So directly in front, like if you were to just go straight forward from the door, you would get to room 13, the door that leads to room 13. So this is off to the right slightly. There are other sort of, again, tables, chairs. You see plates with food scraps on them. It looks like this is just another sort of collecting area that the bandits are sometimes in. But yeah, they're all standing around this cage. You sort of peek your head into the room. You don't see anybody else except those 8.
Okay, then I am going to go ahead and try to sneak in.
Okay, give me a stealth.
I got an 18 plus 9.
Sounds good. Let me do a thing real quick. Okay. You're stealthy. As you begin to sneak into the room, it doesn't appear that they've noticed you.
Is she sneaking around the left side of the room?
That's up to her.
Oh no, I'm sneaking as close, like just going directly to them. I'm beelining. I'm sneakily beelining it.
Sure. Yeah, you with what you rolled, you are silent. A whisper in the night, if you will. And you are able to glide effortlessly over to the bandits that are standing again around this cage, all their backs turned to you so conveniently. You're now actually able to see what's in the cage. There's 2 things. There is a looks like a human. It could be an elf. You're not exactly sure. Sort of balled up in one of the corners off to the side, sort of cowering. And chained to the other side of this cage is like a large wolf that's snarling and sort of biting at the humanoid that's in there. All the bandits are sort of laughing and kicking the cage a little bit, trying to scare their prisoner.
Wait, how do the other 7 laugh?
They're all the same. They're all brothers. Crazy.
Is it?
Look at the stupid elf.
No. Fuck these assholes. I don't like them at all.
Okay.
So I would like to stab them.
Sure. How are we gonna do that?
I would like to use my sneaky prick because I get my bonus damage from that.
Yup.
So I want to sneaky prick attack the one on the far right, and then so it's like attack there, and then I want to come around and stab a second one, the one next to them, with my other weapon.
Sounds good.
My rapier.
Absolutely. You go ahead and roll that. Nigel and Call, what are you guys doing? Out of curiosity.
I'm sneaking in kind of behind, but much like giving a good gap. I want her to kind of initiate, and that's when I'm kind of gonna fully come around and start shooting flames at things.
You did say sneaking, though, right?
Yeah.
Give me that stealth check, Nigel, my boy.
Could I also sneak but to the left side so that if I were to
Certainly.
be detected, I could draw their attention away from Mendax?
Absolutely. Give me a stealth check as well.
8 plus
Nigel.
2 is 10.
10. Okay.
11,
And Call, what'd you roll?
11 plus 3 is 14.
Okay. Mendax. Give me 2 hit rolls because you're attacking 2 separate targets. One with the sneaky prick, the other one with your rapier, I presume.
Yes. Okay. So the first one was a sneaky prick, and I got a 13 plus 6.
Mm-hmm.
I got 19 on that, and then for the rapier, I got an 11 plus 6.
Absolutely. Both of those are going to hit, no problem. Give me damage rolls. You get sneak attack on both of them.
Excellent. Okay, so 1d4 plus 3 is the first sneak
Plus
attack.
46. Yup.
Plus 4d6, yes. Oh, sorry, 1d4 plus 3. That is a d6. I should not roll that. Okay, so 3 plus 3, so it's a 6 on the sneaky prick, and then a 4, which is a 10, another 4, which is a 14, a 2, which is a 16, and a 5, which is a 21.
Sounds good. I think you probably missed something that your class
should be-
especially gets to do.
That my class especially gets to do. Isn't it a?
Specially special thing?
Isn't it a?
Right?
Isn't it guaranteed a crit?
Something
That's what I
so
thought, yeah.
Special. You got it.
It's what?
Just helping. Yeah, it's you automatically crit. So yes, you
Automatically
get
crit those two.
Yeah, because they haven't taken a turn yet. You automatically crit.
So it's a 21, and then it's plus 7, right? Because it's you say it's the largest amount that you can get from a single roll for your crits.
Yep.
Okay, so 28 total on the sneaky prick on the one on the
Okay.
farthest to the right.
Okay, sounds good.
And then for the rapier, 1d8 plus 3 plus the other ones. Okay, so 1d8. That's a 1. Thanks so much. Plus 3 is 4, but plus 4. 4, and then that's 12.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 11. 4 plus 11, so that's 15. That's what the crit. And now it's the extra for the sneak attack. So now it's 4d6s. So 15 plus 6 is 21. Plus 3 is 24. Plus 5 is 29. Plus 5 is 34.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you sort of just appear like a shadow of death behind these two hapless individuals, these brethren, and you plunge down these two weapons into their necks between their collarbones and striking into their lungs, piercing through them. And you rip out your weapons in a one fluid motion as well, spraying blood onto the cage and the room and the brothers around them. They let out a wheezing, sort of gurgly noise as they fall to the ground, super dead.
Whoa.
Okay. The other 6 that are there are bewildered and shocked and terrified. They are going to... Sorry, 1 second. Do. 2 of them are readying their weapons. The other 4 are trying to run out the exit because of how frightened they are. You're muted, I think.
Sorry, run past me towards the exit, like the entrance that we came in, so out that way?
Mm-hmm.
Do we get an attack of opportunity then?
If you want to.
Oh, I want to.
Just on the one that would be right next to you.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to attack the shit out of him.
Okay.
Is that still technically the sneak attack since it's not, or the bonus damage yet? Because
So long as everything else still applies, yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to go with the rapier because I feel like I probably need the range anyway.
Sure.
And I got a 17.
That's gonna
Total.
hit.
Stop! You're under arrest for stealing rations from the nice people of the village.
As they're dying in a cloud of blood and fighting for their lives, just trying to survive.
Carl is coming into his own as an officer of the law. Next is killing most of them.
Yeah.
I'm going ham. These motherfuckers do not deserve to live. They've been in there torturing a wolf and torturing a living being. Fuck them all. They can all die screaming. I got a 6 plus 3 on my rapier.
Mhm.
And then since it's not a surprise attack, so it doesn't crit. So then we just get the 4d6s. So 6 plus 3 is 9. And then we start from there. 9 plus 4. 13. Plus 3 is 16. Plus 5 is 21. Plus 5 is 26.
Yeah, as you remove the rapier from the abdomen of the first one that you killed, sort of in one sort of flick and fluid motion, you spray the blood on the other one's face, kind of blinding him for a moment, and then you just slash cleanly across his throat, nearly decapitating him, again falling to the ground, bleeding out in a second or two, and dying.
Well,
Super duper dead. Okay, the other 3 run past you. Nigel and Call, you can do whatever it is that you want to do from the positions that you guys are in. There are 3 people that are running towards the door, which is kind of intersecting with the path that you're on there, Nigel. You can tell they're afraid more so than looking to attack you. They don't have their weapons drawn or anything like that. You can smell the distinct ammonia of urine because it soaks down their leg, and they are terrified for their lives. Either one of you that want to go next is more than welcome to. This is a surprise round still, so you guys are free and clear to choose the order as you desire.
could I grapple one to tie him up? Get
You
information?
can do whatever. You can try to do whatever you want.
I will attempt to grapple one.
Okay.
I raise my hands and I'm about to start an incantation, and then I kind of just and I just get out of the way.
Okay. So Call, you're going to try to tackle one of the ones that are running, or one of the ones that's standing their ground.
Actually, I should probably deal with the ones that are standing their ground. I'll go and fight one of them.
Okay. One of the ones standing their ground, or one of the ones that are running?
Standing their ground. That's more sportsmanlike.
Seems about right. Yeah, sure. You go towards one of them and you attack them, I presume.
You violated the law. I will use my scythe. And I will attack
Okay.
him.
Give me
Is
a
this
to hit roll.
robocall?
You violated the law.
Judge Call Dread?
Judge Galdred.
They
Yeah,
took all
perfect.
those rations. That's thievery
It,
and theft.
it is.
Do I need to roll initiative? Or do I have a
Nope,
surprise?
you just need to roll to hit.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
you have the
Used to be a
surprise.
great barbarian before he took an arrow to.
Great.
Now he's just catching thieves.
D20 plus 6 to hit. That's a 6. Plus a 6. Is a 12.
12 is not going to be enough, unfortunately. They're just a touch higher than that.
I give them a warning scythe swipe just to let them know that I mean business.
Yeah. Hey,
Don't you mess
back
with us.
away. Whoosh. Whoosh. Perfect. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I would like to put on my chest and be very puffed up and let them know who's the boss.
Like you meant to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next time we'll be serious.
You can roll intimidation. I mean, you could if you want to try to intimidate
Oh,
them.
yes, go for it.
The next chop is gonna cut you in half.
Okay.
I rolled an 8 plus 1 is 9. Intimidating bird.
Given the situation, I would actually give you advantage on it, as 3 of their friends died in like a single turn. So
Rolled again. That's a 10 plus 1 is 11. Even more intimidating.
yeah, let me see here. 11.
Yeah.
Okay, he is not intimidated by you. He is either wildly stupid or very courageous.
I do wonder if Ribbons is going to take a swing as well.
Come on, Ribbons. Let's
No.
go.
Free target
Nope.
for pain.
He loves pain.
His motives are unknown to you. He is.
Put
he
like
is
a little foot out, Ribbons. Just like a little foot, just a little trip.
he is there to serve the Wayfarers. He's just behind you, Nigel. He just kind of leading up the exit. And Nigel, you technically didn't take a turn. You stepped out of the way. Is there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
Regret the fact that I could have burnt those bastards to a crisp, but
Okay,
I have a taste for death right now.
that is fair. The 3 run out of the room. Woo! And they are free and clear there. Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
17.
You get advantage on initiative roll there, Call.
We
With
do have
my
bonuses to initiative.
feral
right?
instinct.
+2, so 14 for me.
14 for you, okay.
14 for me as well.
So Call and Nigel, you guys can decide whichever one of you would like to go first. But Mendax, you are up first.
Okay. I'm really pissed that 3 of them got away. I'm like insanely pissed that they're not dying at my feet right now. So 3 are dead, 3 got away. There's only 2 left.
2 left.
Okay, then I would like to attack the one that's closest to me.
Sure. Yeah, he has sort of a sword and a little dagger out as well. Looks like he's ready to fight. Go ahead and roll your to hit.
I got a 14 plus 6, so a 20.
That will yeah, that will hit.
Boom. Oh, that's for, I mean, I have 2 weapons out, so I should roll for both. So the first one,
Okay. Sure.
14 plus 6. And the second one is an 11 plus 6.
Got it. Both of them hit.
Okay.
And I
then I'm
believe
gonna-
you have your crit plus sneak attack again because they've not acted in combat.
Okay, so for the rapier, my crit 8 plus 3. So we're going to start with the 11.
Okay.
And then we're going to go the 1d8 plus 3. So 11 plus 6 is 17, plus 3 is 20. And then 4d6s, 24, 25, 30, 33. The sneaky prick is 1d4 plus 3, so we're starting with the 7, going to the d4, and that's a 2, so that's 9. Let me get the 4d6s, so 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 6 is 19, plus 3 is 22, plus 6 is 28.
Okay. Yeah, you I mean together that's what, over 50 damage or something like that? Yeah, you cut his head off. You just straight out decapitate him. His lifeless body falls to the floor, his head falls to the feet of his friends. Roll intimidation.
Oh, I'm going for it. Come on. If this doesn't intimidate this guy, then he is obviously blind and deaf. And just has got a fucking 3. Wait, do I have any?
There's only a
Plus
flesh
2 is
wound.
5.
I've seen him have worse.
I've
can take him.
definitely seen
My
worse.
cousin's a
take
headless
him on.
horseman. He's fine.
Get up,
What the
Bill.
hell
We're
am I
not
gonna do?
done
Like,
yet.
pick up the head and fuck it, honestly.
I mean, he's he's still standing there. He doesn't look like he has a whole lot of will to fight in him. He looks like he's more drawn his weapons to defend himself rather than to attack. Colin, Nigel, it is your turns. Whoever wants to go first, go for it.
I'll just shout out, throw down your weapons, fool.
Yeah, he'll look over to you, and he now is assessing the situation, realizes he is alone. And yeah, he does that. He throws his weapons down. He goes, mercy, mercy, please.
He's all yours, Carl.
Come on, then. I have some rope in my pack. I'll tie him
Okay.
up.
Okay. You, how are you tying up? Are you binding his hands and legs? Just hands?
Just upper body. So, basically, like, tied around the chest like this, so he's stuck.
Okay. There's an elf in the cage that's still being snarled at by a really large wolf. And they have like rags on, basically. You could see that they're pretty terrified, and they're kind of help, please. Oh, please help me.
You there, bandit, where's the key?
He kind of stutters. He doesn't know who has the key. I don't know. Maybe one of them had it. Please don't hurt me.
You
I'll
shut
pull
your
out-
mouth. I'm gonna look at the body. I'm gonna start pilfering, looking for the key on the corpses by my feet.
You could also
Okay.
pick the lock, maybe.
Yeah,
I
but we're
pull out
probably also
some
gonna need the thing.
jerky.
I could fail a lockpick, theoretically. I'm also going to be looking for golden things while I'm in there too. Like I'm not going to just only look for a key.
No, you might as well.
Okay.
Sure.
You
What did you say, Nigel? What are you?
I'm trying to give some jerky to the wolf to chill it out, basically, without putting
Okay.
my hands up to its mouth. I don't want to get bit, but I'm kind of trying to toss it some bits
Throw
of
it in.
jerky to make it chill out.
Sure. Mendax, roll a d20, and Nigel, give me an animal handling check.
You could lose a hand.
3 + 2 is 5.
Okay. It seemed like you said you're specifically not putting your hand nearby so that it doesn't bite you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've only had like pet rats and like robot spiders and shit like this inside the tower. So I'm not the best at animals.
No, unfortunately not. It snarls and bites at you. It ignores the jerky completely. As it looks like a pretty feral and wild wolf. Mendax, what did you roll?
I rolled a 14.
Okay. On one of the bodies is a key, presumably to the cage. And give me a D4.
I got a 3.
Collectively on the bodies, you find 30 gold, just total.
Nice. I'll add that. There we go. 30 gold. Okay. I'm going to take the key. I'm going to go over to the front of the cage by the elf. Calm down. It's okay. We're going to get you out of here as I'm unlocking the cage. But I'm also watching the wolf because I actually probably feel a little bit worse for the wolf right now, to be honest. I just have to get to the elf to get to the wolf.
Sure. Yeah. You unlock the cage. It does unlock from the side that the elf is on. And as soon as the lock clicks open and you open it up, he sort of scampers out. You can tell that he's actually quite tall, but he was scrunched up very, very small in the cage. It looks like they pretty much forced him in there. And he hides behind your back, away from the wolf. The wolf is snarling and biting and barking really loudly. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm going to search my pack really quickly to see. I can't remember if I have any other pants or if I've given them. Oh, I do still have 2 pairs of pants because his are all tattered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull one out for him and just have him like, it's going to be okay. Put these on. I'm sure you're cold. But then I also want to pull some meat or jerky out from my pack and I'm going to step inside the cage where the elf had been sitting, out of the range of the wolf.
Okay.
But I want to get closer.
Okay. Yeah, he takes the pants. He's again sort of just very scared of the situation, but starts to put them on. You pull out some water, you said, and jerky.
Just some of the jerky, any of the meat that I might have, whether it's fish or jerky, any of the meat that I have from the rations.
Okay.
I don't think I have a receptacle that I could put the water in for him, unfortunately. Trying to look and see if I have any.
Yeah.
No, I have a tinder box, but there's tinder in it, and it's not very big, so I don't think it would work. So yeah, I'm
There are
going.
plates and bowls kind of scattered around the tables. If you did want to take one of those.
Oh
probably
yes,
can
okay, yes.
do
I want to grab. I'll do that. I'm going to grab a bowl off a table,
Okay.
and I'm going to take that, pour some of my water in it. I'm not going to get close to the wolf yet. I'm going to sit back with it, and I'm going to gently push it with the tip of the rapier towards the wolf, and I'm going to toss some of the meat to him as well.
Okay.
Or her.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been able to tell.
No, you have not. You do that. It's barking gets more aggressive and more wild as it sort of is now snapping against the chain that's on it. That's chained to the other side of the cage. Yeah, it looks like it's just a wild beast that they've probably have put in a cage, but it doesn't seem to calm down really. You see a ferocity in its eyes that it wants to attack all of you.
We can't leave this here, you guys. We have to get this poor wolf out. It needs to be out in nature.
What about the bandits? Do they need to be out in nature?
No, the bandits' bodies need to be feeding nature as they decompose in the soil. That's what they need.
Well,
I am
The bandit-
slightly worried that the three who ran out may have alerted all of the brethren sleeping in the barracks about us. Nigel, could you perhaps, if I could get the chain off of the wolf, perhaps, I'm not sure where the lock is. If we can get the wolf off the chain and the rest of you into a safer location, the rest of us into a safer location, could you possibly make an illusion of like a rabbit or something that is its natural prey for it to chase out of the room?
I can try, but
Like
I
an
can only
illusion of one of the bandits that was here that was obviously hurting it. I'm sure it hates them more. And have them run
Yeah.
out that door.
I can only control it so far, but I can definitely start leading it in that direction. Hopefully it finds the rest of the way out.
Can I see
Okay.
where the lock is around the wolf?
There's no lock. It's just like a chain that's like tied around it, kind of like looped around itself and almost like a noose in a way.
Gotcha.
could you cut the chain at a weak point, or is it tied to something?
So the chain is around its neck, and then that is attached to one of the sides of the cage from the inside.
How heavy is the cage?
How heavy is the cage?
Yeah.
It looks like it's made out of some sort of metal. I don't know if you have any metal identification skills, but it's with the wolf in there.
800 pounds.
Probably maybe you guesstimate 80 to 120 pounds, depending on how heavy the wolf is.
Oh, that's not bad at all. The wolf was definitely over 100 pounds, easily. So we're probably looking between like 200 and 300 pounds total.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like perhaps we can move the cage towards the door that we just came from. The wolf is going to move with the cage. Just be very careful of where we stand. Careful of where we stand. Put the opening of the cage to the door. Cut the chain. It only has one way to go, out, and we're all safe.
That sounds funny. I'm down.
I really don't want
Okay.
to kill this wolf, and it should not be left in this cage.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
And if it's a feral wolf, we can't keep it as a pet. As much as I would fucking love a pet wolf, it's irresponsible, and nobody should have one.
I can haste you. I can invisible you. I guess I can pop a shield if I get bit helping you, but don't really want to put myself too close to the thing.
I want chaotic Nigel that's gonna invis the wolf. Yeah, anarchy.
I don't think
just-
the invisible.
this invisible creature running around biting people.
That would be absolutely hilarious if we save this and take it out to the barracks at the end, and you do that in the barracks with.
Did
the
you bite
band.
my ass? No, I
If
didn't.
only we found some barrels of ale, I could just get you drunk, turn it invisible, and say, "Oh no, we let it down. Out, didn't you see?" No.
Jeez.
I can also pat it with Mage Hand, but I think that might piss it off. So.
You could. I mean, it can't be any more pissed off right now.
It's not a puppy.
You could try patting it, and we'll speak in soothing tones to the wolf.
Maybe Carl can speak wolf to.
Carl does
Have you
not
ever
speak
heard a
wolf.
wolf call,
No.
Carl? You said yeah. He can mimic it.
He can.
I howl at the wolf.
Okay. Yeah, nothing happens. He's still barking at all of you. I'm trying.
well,
I'm trying.
He
here.
must be part dog then as well, because wolves don't bark.
That's true.
Very true.
It
So he could be a
half wolf.
hybrid, which means I could have him as a pet, which means we're definitely not leaving him. Although it's still irresponsible to have wolf hybrids as well. Be fully clear on that.
It has been made duly noted.
Mendax was far ahead of her time in domesticated animal ethics.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down to help move the cage. It's going to be a dicey. But we could push it toward the entrance and then cut the chain.
Yep.
See what happens.
Whatever you guys are gonna do, you just let me know.
Mage Hand can grab things, correct?
Yeah, I can pick stuff up.
It can pick things up. Can it hold things shut?
It's not very strong. Neither is my unseen servant, and that would take a while for me to actually conjure. It's only got like a strength of what, 2? Mage Hand can't even do that. It's just it doesn't even have stats. It's just like manipulate an object, open a door or container, still or retrieve. I can't hold anything shut. No.
What if you made one of these bodies here into another Bob, and then the wolf can just be, well, have him stand in the cage, shuffle inside the cage, and that's obviously the most, dominant threat. So the wolf will be paying attention to him, and we can all move the cage a little safely.
I'm willing to do it. If I don't know how well this will work, but we give it a go. If only we had that gnome with us still, or was he a dwarf? The engineer. He might have a way to solve this.
Fizz Wimbledon? Sniz Wimbledon? Sorry.
Sniz Wimbledon, yes. He gave me an excellent.
Who
face.
knows where he is?
He dipped.
Didn't we like melt someone's face and he just ran away?
Yes.
Once we fought the, I think it was the one-eyed monster that threw him. No, it was in the barracks, right?
Yeah. You like brutally murdered the guy that was sleeping and he ran away.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good thing he wasn't here for this one.
True.
Good call.
Going full Kill
All
Bill.
right,
in
unless
here.
anyone else has any other ideas with the wolf, but I don't think we can leave it. I literally will not leave this wolf here to suffer with these in this cage any longer.
Your motivation is inspiring. I will help you move the cage.
All right.
Thank you, Carl.
I'm going to animate the dead. All right. I will animate the dead. That's a 3rd level spell slot. And we are going to create a new Bob. Bob version 3 or 4. Right, sure.
Yeah, I
An
think it's
animated
3
Bob.
now.
Bob the Third.
Which one are you choosing? Number 1, 2, or 3?
Which one is most together? I remember
1 and
kind
2.
of ripped them apart. So yeah, we'll grab just number 1 then.
Okay. Yeah, you cast the ritual to animate this creature, and puppeteer their body more than return their soul. It gets up in sort of slinking motions, being almost held by invisible strings, if you will.
I'm helping him channel it.
Okay.
I like this. Thank you.
Yeah, it's under your control. You have animated this creature, this corpse. The bandit that you have tied up is terrified, and is convinced that you're a part of some cult, and he's gonna die next. The elf is also quite scared and doesn't know what's happening. Is considering running away.
Elf, we're just gonna try and get this wolf out of here, back into the wild. Just stay safe, and we'll escort you out of here momentarily.
Where are you from, good person?
He is too afraid to speak.
Okay. Elf, you. Stay still. Just a moment. Carl, me and you, and Nigel, let's grab this thing. Try to stay more towards the front and the sides. And we'll let Bob the Third do his thing inside the cage.
Okay.
Bob is going and walking into the cage.
Okay. How much
you looking
HP
for
does
it?
Bob have?
I think he's a skeleton, so like not a lot.
Okay, yeah, he turns into.
Oh, it's a zombie actually. Sorry. because
Zombie,
it's a
yeah.
corpse.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright,
but that's not a
let me look.
skeleton.
Not a 10. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it goes into the cage. The wolf. Are you trying to keep it out of range of the wolf?
I would
22 hit points. That's not too
yeah,
bad.
like dance right outside of the range. Just a bit, not like
Okay.
actual dance, but he's close enough that the wolf was worried about him.
Okay.
And so anytime
yeah.
the wolf like looks away from it at one of us holding the cage, we should probably be telling Bob to get closer then. Like,
Yeah.
get in
you
there,
guys,
Bob.
You guys can just basically shout that, and I'll obviously command to immediately in case I need to.
Gotcha.
Sure.
All right. Everybody
Bob
get
is in the
ready, remember?
cage.
Lift with your back. That's the way you meant to do it, right? You meant to just
No, with
Was
your
it-
legs.
lift. It's with your legs. Oh, okay. That must be
That's how
why
you
I
get a
have
back
so much-
injury.
That's
Lift
why I
with
have
your
so much
back and
wizard
jerky
scoliosis.
motions.
No.
Try and twist around as much as possible.
No. Lifting protocol.
Very heavy
101.
object.
You lift.
This is why
With your
nobody
legs.
invites a wizard to help
With
them
your
move
legs.
move hard.
You don't lift like this. You don't do that. That's how
Wait
you
a minute,
lift your
doing
back. With your legs.
Squats for subs here. How do we do it again?
With your legs. Like this. Like this. You see that?
I did.
Don't hurt yourself. If you're picking up giant wolf cages with your back, you're hurting yourself.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is. It is. The wolf is looking at Bob, which is inside of the cage, snapping and snarling at him. But Bob is tucked, kind of just in there. He's Bob. You guys pick up the cage between the three. Do you want Ribbons to help?
Yes, come on, Ribbons.
Okay, he's pretty short, so he's kinda holding.
It's like
Holding above his head.
whenever I'm moving, yeah, and I'm the person in the middle, and there's the two people carrying like the bed
Yeah.
or the big piece of
You just, like,
furniture.
You're touching it. You're like,
Yeah,
yep,
I'm like,
moral
I'm
support.
contributing,
I'm
and I'm
helping.
saying encouraging comments the whole time.
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
an excellent supervisor.
Good job, everyone. Yeah, you lift the cage. It doesn't seem to be biting your fingers yet. What are you doing?
We're going to walk it towards the door that we came in.
Okay, you walk it over there.
Excellent. And then shove it up against the door so there's no gaps between the door to the cage and the door, so that the two doors are
Okay,
like this.
except for the gap that will be there when you, like, you're pressing the door up to the cage. I get that, but there certainly will be above the cage. There's a gap, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yes, I just mean
Got it.
like there's not
Okay,
a gap between like the door, the wall that the door is on, and then the front of the cage. So that
Okay.
there's only one way for the wolf to go if he wants to get out, which is to go
Yep.
straight out.
Yep.
Okay. And then can we see a way to break the chain that's holding the wolf now?
I know a birdbarian.
I do know a very, very strong birdbarian.
Yeah, I mean, there's no like red link that looks like a weak point of the chain or something, but there, you know, it's a chain. You could break it with different means. However you want to do it.
All right, Carl, you're up. We need you to break this chain to get this wolf out of here.
All right.
What do you do, Carl?
I would like to just rage up here real quick.
Feeling fresh, eating the flesh of a demigod or some such. Fired up. Extra rage. Chain chopper. The Kenku barbarian lifts the scythe. Do I roll?
Oh yeah,
Okay. With advantage because I'm so furious.
sure.
That's a 3 plus 3 is 6. Trying again. 9 plus 3 is 12. Strong bird.
Yep. You hit the chain part that's attached to the cage. Sure. Give me some damage.
D12 plus 6 with strength weapons while raging. D12 is rolled. It's a 7. Plus a 6 is 13.
Yeah, you're able to break the chain from the cage. It snaps, and in a flurry of movement, the wolf is free, and it bites the shit out of Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Like immediately.
Bereft of life
within-
again.
Within seconds, you can tell that your animated construction is no longer animated, Nigel. It is dead again.
Again. Yep. Fine with that. I commanded him, of course, to not defend himself, so he just stood there and took it.
Right. Okay. The wolf is in the cage, eating Bob currently.
That's all that fucking bandit deserves. Good. This wolf deserves nourishment, and it's going to feed off something in here, and it won't eat the jerky. That it might as well eat one of the people who tortured it.
You know you fucked up when you get killed, resurrected, and killed again.
Yeah. You are not a nice person.
He fucked around, and then he found out, and then he found out again.
Wow.
Big true.
Rob shit, get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wolf is still in the cage though.
Okay, I'm going to create an illusion of a rabbit. I'm going to make it so it smells like a rabbit as well. Obviously, I
Okay.
have lots of illusion bonuses. It's my school of magic, so
Yep.
I can change it and move it and all sorts of things, make sounds. Basically, I can't remember the exact restrictions, but I feel like basically my illusion cantrip is just broken at this point.
It's pretty
everything-
good.
I can do
It's
pretty much
good.
everything with it.
You can do quite a lot, yeah.
So I'm going to create a rabbit, and I'm just going to
Okay.
kind of have it rustle around, and then start hopping around off in the direction we want it to run, back towards the entrance in vision of the wolf.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a D20.
It's a 3.
Okay. It doesn't seem super interested in the rabbit. It has food ready to go right in front of it, and it is content in eating.
Okay.
Doesn't want to get out of here.
Well, then I
Tortured
say
in this
yeah,
place. Leave.
I think it's fine where it is for now. I mean, it's eating. I'm gonna. Well, since it's occupied, I'm gonna put that bowl of water through the bars and just put it in there behind the wolf so it has some water.
Okay.
But I mean, at this
sure.
point, it's really just protecting our six, right? It has the ability to leave. This is a later problem if we come back and the wolf is still here.
Right.
Would we be able to climb over the cage if we have to leave here in a hurry?
Yeah, you can also open the door. I mean, it's just a swing away from being open. So, but yeah, there's enough room for you to like jump on the cage, so long as the cage doesn't break, presumably.
Yeah.
And kind of crouch your way through the door. Sure.
Okay. Awesome. All right,
We'll
yeah,
just
let's
shelf that
continue
for
on then.
now. Crazy, deranged wolf that's in a frenzy.
Crazy wolf.
Just
Okay.
Let that-
Okay.
let that stew for a minute.
Terrified wolf. It's just scared.
It's just misunderstood.
Wolves don't naturally attack humans. They don't do it. It's incredibly rare.
Do they attack kenkus?
No, well,
Well,
Not a wolf in its natural habitat. However, Mendax, I have actually, despite having no hands-on experience, I've read some books on certain wild animal interactions and how to domesticate them. Apparently, if you can make it comfortable enough around you, you will need to let it lick inside your mouth so that it can greet you. The wolf greeting they do with each other. So I'm personally not game for that, but if you want to become friends with it, you may need to let it lick inside you. Just
listen. I've had much worse things lick inside my mouth.
I have seen the way your standards go after you've had your 6th ale at the tavern, and I've got to say, I'm not surprised.
A wolf would be top tier at this point.
It's got a very luscious coat, and it's a noble creature.
Very loyal.
By the
you know what? The wolf breaks free, and it kills Nigel. It bites him in the neck, just all of a sudden.
Wow. Very immediate and swift consequences.
Yeah. Okay. If you guys are satisfied that the wolf issue has been dealt with for now, anyways, what would you like to do next?
We've advanced that plot, but it's not really taken care of. So
No, it's
It's a later problem.
we're in room 11, and we have 12
Yes.
and 13. And
Yes,
the
you
elf
also
is
have
still
a
there
item
scared.
Yep.
And the
very
bandit
scared.
has yet to be read his rights.
And is also scared. Yes.
Hello, my name is Carl, the Kenku Birdbarian, biggest and thickest of birds. You have the right to shut the fuck up and stay tied up. We are led to believe that you're one of the bandits here who stored a bunch of these rations from the local village. Do you know anything about those rations and where they came from?
I never stole nothing. I swear I didn't.
Do you know
Only
anyone
Mum.
who did? How did those rations get there?
I mean, they don't tell me anything. I just do what they tell me to do.
How long have you worked here?
14, 2 days.
You're lying. He's lying.
Oh, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Please don't hurt me.
Lying. I'm not. Yes, you are lying. You're a lying little shit because you say you've stolen nothing, and yet you were stealing this elf's dignity, and you were stealing the dignity of that wolf. You stole him from his pack. You stole this elf from his home, and you were laughing at them in the cage. So don't look at me and tell me you're innocent and you were only following orders. You aren't fucking Kunku, and you tell him what he wants to know, or I will end you, and you will look like your friends on the floor there, leaving only markers for the history of your life. Do you understand me?
He's just like sobbing on the ground, just not making any intelligible noises or any words that you can understand.
Very good,
He's
Mendax.
absolutely terrified.
Look, buddy, we don't want to kill you. Mendax wants to kill you, but we just want to know what's going on here. So, if you just tell us a few things, then maybe you won't end up like your friends, and you can end up escaping some point later on.
Very slim chance.
Think
He
about
looks
it.
up-
Anything
he looks
useful
up
for
the-
us can increase your chance to live.
He kind of moves closer to you, Call, and away from the crazy lady. And I really don't know much. I promise. What do you want to know?
We know you're not the mastermind here. That's obvious. You're just
I'm not.
low-level help. That also
That's
means
right.
that your punishment might be less than the mastermind. So,
Okay.
if you just give us some clues, then you could escape and have nice mutton or some snack later on and live a happy life.
Okay. I'm allergic to mutton, but okay.
You can have fish then.
I like fish.
Good. You'll have some tasty fish. So,
Okay.
who's the boss?
That would be Lorfadol.
Mr. Lorfadol.
Yeah.
Hmm. And how
He's
long
in that room over there.
he is?
And he points to room 12.
Has he got any guards with him?
Yeah, probably. Maybe, yeah, I think so, yeah.
How many?
I'm not good with numbers. Um, and he's struggling to even remember what the numbers are. More than a couple, less than 20.
Is he strong, would you say?
Yeah, he's Lorfadol. He's the strongest of us all.
Brute
He's
strength or
terrifying.
magic?
What is magic?
Does he cast spells, shoot flame from his hands, this sort of thing, or does he use a weapon? What sort of weapon does he use?
He can't shoot no flames. He kind of just he fights and hits people with whatever's nearby.
He's a
I
brute
don't
then.
think he's got a weapon.
Good.
Sounds rather large.
Yeah, he's big. He's real big and nasty.
How big?
Like real big, like really, really big.
Big like a
think of
house.
No, I mean maybe a small house.
Hmm.
He's big. Think of the biggest person you've seen, and he's bigger than them.
Wow. What's behind that other door? And I point to room 13.
I don't know. I've never been in there. It's locked.
What
I
about
don't
that?
have the
What about that big
keys.
iron sculpture wall thing? What's behind there?
Nothing. It's just a nice looking art piece. I don't know.
No,
It's nice to look at.
it is. Well, you sit tight. You've given us a bit of information, so we won't kill you yet.
Yet.
Okay. I don't want to die. I'll do anything
Oh,
you want.
lots of people don't want to die. This elf didn't want to die either.
I didn't put the elf in there. I didn't want to do that, but what was I supposed to do?
Not laugh.
I wasn't laughing.
I
I'm
heard you all
faking it.
laughing identically.
I'm really good at acting.
He's not.
Somehow I doubt that.
I think
I am a trained stage performer, and I can tell right now, sir, you are not an actor.
Roasted.
Alright, you don't have to rub it in. I'm doing my best.
Well, your best is shit.
That's fair.
Oh, he's just low-level hired help. What of this elf here? What's your story? Has he calmed down yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can I'm going to offer the elf some water, not out of a dog bowl.
Okay. Yeah, he looks like he's calmed down significantly from the sort of kerfuffle and skirmish. I thank you so much for your rescue. I'm ever so grateful. Please, can we leave? Can we get out of here?
So there's a bit of a problem. That way, there's a rabid wolf that's eating a zombie. If you go that way,
Yes.
it may eat you.
I saw that. Why did you do that?
She loves dogs, right? Wolves are adjacent to dogs. And those people...
Wolves are OG dogs.
And they should be out in the wild. That's her personal belief, and she stands by that belief. So she wants the wolf to be free. She also wants you to be free, because she thinks elves are hot. So, what we want to do
Alright.
is make sure the wolf gets out of here first. We just pointed it out. It's going to eat a zombie and then run. And then we're going to take care of business here. And then we can all escape and get the rations.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
Where are you
you have
from?
any-
Are you
Where are
from
you
the
from? What
village?
do you do?
Hope's End, yes.
Well, we were
Are
sent
you
there.
from there?
We were sent from Hope's End to get the
To
rations
rescue
from
me!
here.
Oh, yeah, rations, right, okay.
But you're a citizen, so we should try to get you home as well. It's a worthy cause.
I'm guessing they don't know that you are alive.
Yeah, I doubt it. It was such a horrible night. Everyone just hid and ran. We didn't have the defenses to fight off this merciless party of bandits.
What do you do
I-
now?
Thank you.
We've cleared out most of these caverns, and our plan is to clear them out completely so that the people of Hope's End can come here and live in safety on their own. So you can defend this space and not have to worry about bandits stealing from you any longer, any further. Do you have any skills? What was your job at Hope's End? Anything that you could do to help us while we're still here? We have very few rooms left to go.
Yeah, roll a d20.
Let's go. Come on. 14.
14. He was... He was a farmer.
I can grow food.
No, I mean, that's good. People need food. You're a provider. That's
Thank you.
excellent. While you were on your farm, did you ever have to defend your crops from predators?
I mean, sometimes we get the odd crow or raven, and I'd have to give them a good wallop.
Excellent. Wallops are good. What did you use to give them wallops? Just big stick?
Yeah, big stick.
Okay. I'm going to give you an incredible stick.
Thanks.
And this is where you cue the very sexy funk music.
No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where that comes in.
Nope.
I'm hearing it though.
And that's in your head.
I'm going to give him one of my unlit torches. This, it looks like a torch. It actually
It is a
a
torch.
torch.
Okay. yeah.
However,
Uh-huh.
I have bashed at minimum 36 bandits with this torch. This torch will keep you safe. I don't need you to follow us in. What I want you to do is I want you to remain in this room, and I want you to use this torch. And if anyone comes in, you yell for us, and you
hide.
have the torch to bash them. But you don't have to do anything else but watch and stand guard until we return.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. That sounds good if that's what we're doing.
And if this
I
prisoner
just wanna
tries to
get out
do
of here.
anything, bonk him in the head.
Wallop him, exactly. I'm sure, actually, if he does nothing, you're also free to wallop him. I think you've earned a couple wallop freebies at this point.
I don't want to wallop anyone. I just want to leave. But you do whatever you need to do. Whatever we need to do to leave. Is walloping required for leaving?
We've got to go deal
Only
with
if-
the boss first.
Yeah. Only if this prisoner, if he gets out of the ropes or looks like he's trying to, that's the only time it's absolutely necessary for you to wallop. If not, no walloping necessary.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will handle all of the walloping.
All right.
That's why we're called the Wallopers. Wayfarers.
Wow.
The
The wall
wallop
of the
fairies.
Wayfarers. Oh, you have ribbons with you. Hi, ribbons. Hello.
You know each other. Well, I guess you're from the same town.
Yeah, of course. I know ribbons.
Good
He
luck.
helped me with a leg injury just a few months ago.
wonderful. I think I totally missed your name though, sir. I'm very sorry.
Oh, yeah, Huffle. My name is Huffle.
Huffle.
Mm-hmm.
It is very nice
Huffle
to
the
meet you,
farmer.
Huffle.
The glass certainly is.
Oh, God.
The what certainly is?
The glass, it's half full.
Don't mind him, it's wizard
Oh
nonsense.
my god. Nigel went to the future and had 6 children we didn't know about. He's making top tier dad jokes now.
Oh gosh.
Someone needs to bring some lightheartedness to this shithole. We've been in
All
this
right,
dungeon for
Harful.
far too long.
You have been in this dungeon for a long time. You're almost done. Maybe.
Some say
Awful,
the
you hold-
Wayfarers are
hold-
still in that dungeon to this day.
Yeah, we're never getting out. Actually, I think at this point we're just going to decide we like it here and
Yeah.
stay.
We'll be the new bandits.
Yeah.
Hey!
We got all the supplies we need, and we can't leave because the dog won't leave. Ah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we could go visit the boss and see what he's about.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
like
we
to-
should.
Burn this piece of this guy's face off. I'd like to melt.
The guard? The tied up guard?
No,
No, not him.
the boss.
Someone that fights back.
Oh, the boss. Yeah. Okay, him too, I guess. But
Okay, yeah.
no promises to you. I'm going to point to the bandit that's tied up. Hate him.
So,
All right, let's.
we can
head towards
advance.
the boss.
Yeah. Where you want to go?
Room 12 is where the boss is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Should be the one that's south from you guys.
Affirmative.
Mm-hmm.
Mendax, do you know if that door is trapped?
I'll take a look. I'm going to check for traps on the door to room 12.
Give me a perception roll.
Shut the front door! I've got a 19 plus 1.
Very nice. You use your expert vision.
I'm raging and highly focused.
Yeah, you don't see any traps.
Mendax, after slashing 4 people to death, can now see things around her.
There's just something about being covered in blood and grey matter that, you know, really, really hones your abilities. Centers you.
What a violent person.
Okay, then I'm going to try the door handle. But again, I'm going to
Okay.
have my sneaky prick in my hand.
Yeah, the door is unlocked.
Okay. All right, boys. Opening the door. We're going in.
I am really, by the way, getting like Kill Bill when she's got the blood splattered all over her face and the sword in the hand feeling for you right now, Mendax. So, vengeance coming.
Oh, it's definitely. It's not like it was my wolf, but I'm feeling John Wick levels of rage at this moment, so I'm ready to go fucking bonkers.
Yeah,
right.
I can tell.
I'm going to open the door
mhm.
quietly.
Yep.
And try to get in after we. Well, actually, let's open the door quietly. See what we're dealing with first, because I really want to sneak in and start stabbing.
Sure. Yeah. You open the door just a crack, really, and you smell a cacophony of like foods, like roasted turkey and duck. You smell ale. Mendax, your nose perks up at that moment. A lot of fragrant scents, some roasted herbs, some garlic as well. And you peek your head in. You see that it's a pretty large room, and there are 4 people standing next to these tables that are lining the right side of the walls, and they're just bringing these dishes over. They're hurrying these dishes over to the center, sort of large table that's there, that's just filled with all these different foods that are being eaten. And behind that table, on the wall that's facing you guys, is a giant ogre that's just sitting plump in the middle of the room and just stuffing his face with all this food that's around him, grabbing whole turkeys with one hand and eating them bones and all, taking a few moments to burp and sip down entire flagons of mead and ale. You can see there's grease and just bits of food that are all over its face as it is just absolutely gorging itself on food. You watch the spectacle for maybe just a few moments. It doesn't seem to have noticed you or have taken any interest to what's going on outside of the room. It's wearing like this very gaudy looking like purple and gold crown with like velvet that's on it. And it has like a cape as well that's a similar color. It doesn't have any shirt on as this grease and fat just dribbles down its chin and onto its chest. And it has, again, very, very gaudy but very expensive looking pants of a similar color to the crown that just have these grease and food stains all over it. You watch just for a little bit before reporting back to Call and Nigel. And give me a perception check real quick before you do.
No, not another one. 14 plus 1, 15.
You see that it pulls something from out of one of its pockets, and it starts picking its teeth. It looks like a large toothpick, but you notice it starts glinting in the light of the torches, and you sort of hone in your perception to see. And it looks like a small, to it a small, but to you a regular size looking rapier that has sort of a diamond shaped socket that's towards on the hilt.
Oh, I'm gonna get that. It's got some
Potentially
nice
fitting the red gem that you guys found in the house the other day.
stuff. I was thinking.
Maybe, maybe not. But we'll have to find out next time, as our time has unfortunately run out for the evening. As that is all we've got for D&D tonight.
No.
We lived. We died. Other people died. And lived and died again. The wolf is still snacking. And we have a giant-hacking boss before us.
And a blue bald Mendak, whose rapier really wants blood right.
Yes.
Fantastic session, everybody. Looking forward to the next one. I think we should be good for 2 weeks, roughly, unless we have something going on. Who knows? But, yeah, really great to be back and really great to do this session with all of you. So close to the end of the Bandit Dungeon.
Thank
To
you
kick
all
off
for
Arc
tuning
2.
in and cheering us on, as we had a brush with the gaping maw of the void of death, and was spared by a questionable and evil demigod. Tune in for the next episode of Wayfarers, with more dick jokes and other things.
We can leave those. That could just be a this session thing, and the next session has none.
Not likely.
You don't
All
think
bets are off.
We'll do a couple bets. A couple bets are on. You know? Not
What's
all bets are off.
What's the movie where the guy gets the Minotaur trophy on the necklace? Because I feel like that's gonna be Mendax at the end of
with
this
Seth
fight.
Rogen and James Franco.
Yeah, what the heck is that? I can't remember either.
With yeah, well, I always forget that guy's
I
name.
can't
Seth
remember it.
Rogen dick necklace.
Yeah, Minotaur.
No,
Dick Nick.
it didn't come up.
Your Highness, Your Highness. That's
Your
it.
Highness, that's
There you go.
That's gonna be Mendax at the end of this fight.
I have
taking
listen.
my
I have
trophy.
some limits. You haven't hit them yet, but there are some limits to this campaign.
Oh, also remember, if you get into any major injury situations, try the arm of a demigod. Just tear one off, have a few bites, you'll be back
Yeah,
and at
Decent
level
idea.
7 in no time. PSA.
absolutely.
Well, thank you all, and we will see you on the next episode of Wayfarers.